Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys. Here's Nick Eatman.
Hello and welcome to Cowboys Storyline presented by Gillette. It's Friday, December 19th. One more day to talk about Cowboys Chargers, if that's what you want to talk about. Chargers play this Sunday at noon. It's getting worse and worse for the Cowboys as far as this matchup goes. We talked all season long about the quarterbacks that aren't very good, that have looked really, really good against the Cowboys. And every time you say that, you're like, just imagine what it's going to be like if you face fill in the blank. Patrick Mahomes was one of them. They actually did a nice job and figured out a way to beat the Chiefs. But we know that the Chiefs aren't their normal team this year. They're not as good. But Justin Herbert is one of those quarterbacks. And their receivers, they've got 4 guys that have caught 600 yards or more, I believe, or 500 yards or more. Only team in the league that does that. So they spread it around. They got different guys that they throw the ball to. And then now the Cowboys are losing cornerbacks. Deron Bland now looks like he will be out probably for the rest of the season with a foot injury. Trayvon Diggs, I would imagine, will never play with the Cowboys again. And until I see it, I'm just going to say he's not. I don't know. Maybe he will this week. Who knows? All right, let's go. Let's go to the phone lines. Robbie, Cocoa Beach, Florida. Robbie, what's up?
What's up, Nick? Merry Christmas, or whatever holiday season you worship or feel is good, appropriate.
Yeah, I do Christmas. Yeah.
Well, Merry Christmas to you and your family, then.
Thank you, you too.
You're welcome. Hey, man, I am excited about this game. I know a lot of people are kind of like, oh, crap, the season's over. Hey, man, we got 1% chance. That's no big deal. I don't think we make the playoffs, but I am so excited to get to watch the game with my son. It's almost Christmas time. Hopefully we beat the hell out of the Chargers. We hardly ever play them. Mm-hmm. I'm excited, man. I think it's going to be a big scoring game. I think our offense is going to be a little frustrated with how they played last week and put up some points. I know they have a solid defense, but I don't know, just my feeling, maybe like 32-41 Cowboys.
41-32.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
I don't know.
It's not soccer. I flipped it the other way around. 41-32. That's very high scoring. It's a lot of fun.
I think it's going to be a great game. Mike Boyd didn't get to watch the game with me on the Vikings because it was a school night. You know how that goes, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, you don't, but you understand it, I'm sure. And let's go Cowboys. And if anybody hears from Carolina arriving out of the truck, I haven't heard from him much this year. I hope he's all right.
Yeah.
Have a good one, y'all.
All right, yeah. Thanks, Robbie. Thanks for the call. There's a few people like that. I know I've said that before, and I'll say it again. There's a few people that we haven't heard from for a little bit. And, you always kind of keep tabs on it. And it also depends on how much they call. Like, if I didn't hear from Dylan in Northport, Florida for a couple of days, or Irene, then I'd be like, what's up? Or Robbie from Cocoa Beach. Chris, Saratoga Springs, all that, Lester. Then there's others that don't call as much, and so then when it goes to a few weeks like Carolina, yeah, that would be one. It's been a little bit for him. I'd say the one for sure I'd love to hear from is Nico from Colorado Springs. And Nico and I have gone at it before a couple of times, have some fun. He's got some hot sports opinions and all that, but his last call that he kind of mentioned that he was going through some stuff, and it was right after the Marshawn Nealon stuff and all that. So haven't heard from him. There's some others too. I always want to hear from Brian from Kansas City. Got to hear from him not too long ago. I mean, there's some that go kind of way back when I look at the all storyline team and look at the guys that were there from last time and the first year we did it. Yeah, there's a few that I haven't heard from. So hope everything's good, and maybe they're just the schedule change or whatever. Or maybe they just don't like the show anymore, which is fine too. Like that happens. All right, Steve, Newport, Washington. Steve.
Morning, Nick.
How are you?
Doing? Good. I'm the controversy, Steve. Remember the one with the think that we need to add another point to the star, for.
Oh yeah.
same number of points as Super Bowl wins, and so we need to add another one.
Yeah.
But,
How'd that go?
It's not working so far. Yeah, they're not. Jerry
No,
Jones isn't listening to me.
hasn't caught on. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all
Hey,
right.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
You talked a little bit yesterday about missing the mark sometimes on our draft and who's looking into those things. And we missed the mark, I think, a little bit on Blue. I was just wondering, the Giants seemed to hit the mark on Scattaboo, even though he had a knee injury. If he hadn't, he probably would have been a candidate for Rookie of the Year. But I'm wondering, was Scattaboo taken before Blue, or was Blue taken before Scattaboo?
I think Scattaboo was a third-round pick, maybe second. I don't know that, but I think he was.
I thought it was like fourth or fifth round pick, actually.
I don't know. Chris usually
anyway,
can help
just
with
kind of
that.
think we missed the mark on that one. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, is he? And he's kind of been, when he was there, he was kind of their featured back. I no, he was not picked higher than Jaden Blue. So it's not like he was on the board there. There weren't many running backs on the board. I don't believe when guys that were really good, solid runners, they weren't on the board when the Cowboys picked Jaden Blue. And I thought they let too many go off the board. And that just goes to show what they think about where to get these running backs and how to value them. But I don't remember hearing a ton about Scattaboo as far as a guy that the Cowboys liked or didn't like. I don't think he was ever really an option for them. So, and what they've gotten, Javonte Williams, has been great. But what they need, what they still need is a little bit of a juice, home run hitter type guy, which Jaden Blue was supposed to provide that. If he was able to be, you got to be an every down running back first, and then you got to be able to have that, I thought he was going to be a lot like Tony Pollard, and he just hasn't been. Pollard played more his rookie year and was, provided a lot more actually than what we've seen from Jaden Blue, who, as it turned out, wasn't better than Malik Davis. So, I think it's going to be. I think Jaden Blue's got to, maybe he's going to get a chance to play some in the next few games, maybe, but he's got to have a great offseason. He's got to come in here and understand what the offense is a little bit better, and maybe get his body a little bit bigger. And then he's kind of a lean guy, and now he's obviously going to be a fast, quick twitch guy. But he needs to be a guy that just becomes a better pro all the way around. And that's not just Jaden Blue. That's most players that were their rookie year. Same with Ezeraku. Same with all these rookies. But obviously you need to see a little bit more from Blue. All right, Lewis, Langston, Oklahoma.
What's going on?
Hey, dude. How you doing?
I'm good. About to start my Christmas shopping today, so I'm last minute. How about you? Are you done?
Well, kind of. I say I'm done. See, I'm not very good at this because even when I get ahead of the game and I'm like, I'm done, and then I'm like, oh, well, they have 12 gifts. They only have 10. And and the next thing you know, I go all the way up to Christmas. And so even when I say I do, when I try to get it done early, I still buy stuff all the way to Christmas. So there's a sweet spot. I need to figure out when to do it better, and so I'm not like continuing to buy unnecessary things.
I don't know what it is. My wife starts in June, and she's done by like August, and I'm like, how is this possible? She's like, I just figured it out, and I'm like, I need to figure that out beforehand, but whatever.
My kids,
I don't know.
They changed their mind. I mean, if I did that and bought some really cool thing in June, it wouldn't be out of style by then, and so I don't know about that. All right.
No. So I was calling. I guess it was last week. I was asking, like I was saying, like as a fan, I'm looking at it at on the TV or in the stadium, 1,000 miles away, and I see different things on the field. Most people see it, watching it all 22. And I was wondering, like, is Eberflus not seeing it? I don't want to harp on him in general as far as, like, him losing his job. But then I saw his interview talking about yesterday that he was going to watch the game or call the game from up in the booth. And I was like, maybe he wasn't seeing the field to be calling the plays. And I was wondering, like, does that have that big of an effect on, like, coaches or, like, play calling from being on the field versus being in the booth? And I'll take that off air because that was just something I was thinking about.
Yeah. I mean, like, there's a lot of coaches have their own style when it comes to that. Thank you for the call, Lewis. But, you know, I mean, it also depends on how much they want to interact with the players. You know, there's a lot of coaches that are kind of hands-on that, you know, obviously everyone knows you can see better from up, you know, from up in the booth. I mean, you see the field better and you can call the game better. I've had the fortune of watching games down on the sideline, you know, whether it be college games or whatever, and it's cool. It's a cool atmosphere for that, but it's also you can't see as much, you know, and so that's something that you know it's easier to see from up top, but then you're missing stuff about talking to them and when they come off the field and, you know, giving points and whatever. So yeah, they have phone, you know, you can get on the phone and all that. So I just think this is one of those things. And if you didn't hear or you're piecing it together, yes, Schottenheimer, they've made the decision to put Eberflus up in the booth. He's going to call some plays from up there. Aaron Whitecotton will kind of handle a little bit more duties from down on the field. He's their D-line coach. So we'll see, you know, is it too little, too late? Maybe, but they're just going to try different things just to see, you know. And yeah, I think at this point, Eberflus has got to be open to that. I mean, because Jerry had said, hey, these last 3 games are going to be important to evaluate all coaches and including him. So, you know, maybe that's what he needs to do. Maybe they can, you know, find something that works better here in these next few games, and he's trying to keep his job, and I don't blame him for that. All right, let's go to break here on Cowboys Storyline, and we'll be right back after this.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Crown Royal and the Dallas Cowboys are bringing back the Royal Rig for Season 2. See it in action at AT&T Stadium on Thanksgiving Day, where the Dallas Cowboys take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and around Dallas on November 26th and November 28th. Visit crownroyal.com to see where else the Royal Rig is stopping this NFL season. That's crownroyal.com. Please drink responsibly.
Altec Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit alteclansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's alteclansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Altec Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, welcome back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette. One of our last callers, Steve in Washington, he was asking about Scatterboo for the Giants. They missed the boat on that. Scatterboo went in the 4th round. Beams found this. He was 105 overall, so I think early 4th round. Blue was in the 5th round, 149. So Blue went 149 and like 40 picks after Scatterboo. Again, I don't know if the Cowboys had a high grade on him or not. I don't know if that's somebody. I don't remember him being a part of the conversations about somebody that they liked. All right, let's go to Ali in Florida. Ali, what's up, man?
Good morning, sir. How about you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Pretty good, Matt. I want to wish you and the family a Merry Christmas.
You already have. You've already sent some awesome gifts and beautiful pictures and cards and stuff like that. Thank you so much.
You deserve it.
You're very talented. You know this, but I mean, you're very talented, and everybody's got their own stuff, and you definitely have an eye for that, and just unbelievable photos. And I'd like to hear some stories one day about just. I mean, you get too close to animals, you got to be careful.
Yeah.
I bet you've had some run-ins, I guess.
Oh yes. I'm like. I get excited. I don't think about being danger. Then when it's over, then I get scared. Not when I'm doing it, you know? It's just like, but you deserve it. I want to thank you for everything you do. I want to wish Chris and the family a Merry Christmas, Mr. Jones, all the captain, and all the storyliners.
Yeah.
A couple things. I see this poster is a duckling looking at this mirror, and he see a beautiful swan. So he wished to be that.
Yeah.
When I look at that poster, Cowboys, until 30 years ago, we were the swan. Now we're looking up to the team like Chicago, and Seattle, New England. They retool, and we are still there. I think personally, I'm with you 100% that we dropped the ball on the draft. The second round, you mentioned it on Wednesday.
Yeah.
The third round, me and you, we talked about a few weeks ago. And then you add the fourth and the fifth. I think they're going to bring the little heat on the people, either making a decision or the scouting department. The last thing I want to say, I want to give the best color and gesture of the 2025 in my book. That trophy for the number one seed goes to your mother.
Huh.
The reason for that is when you get older, I have many friends, suddenly their body doesn't feel right. They go to doctor, like Randy did, and doctor said, hey, we got a problem here. And they give you that little scary word. For your mom, going to the hospital and make a hospital visit, I cannot tell you what it did for Randy.
Yeah.
It gave him a power to live. It is the most kindness, unselfish gesture. We need more people like your mom in this life than anybody. Kudos to her, and kudos to your family. Love you, brother. Merry Christmas. I'm out.
Thank you. Well, thank you for saying that. Yeah, she's the best. I mean, everyone. I don't know if everyone says that about their own mom. Most people do, and but yeah, she's the best. And it so happens that Randy lives in Texarkana, Arkansas. It's the other side of the state, the other side of the city. It's all right there, and she lives on the Texas side, which is about 10 minutes away. So I mean that's part of it too. But still, think about that cooking and for people going into a family, going into a home. You don't know anybody. You kind of hear stuff. You would think we know these people just by them in their 2 or 3 minute call, but we don't really know. But yeah, that's who my mom is, and I hope she's raised me the right way, and me and my brother. But thank you for saying that, because that wasn't like that was yesterday. That was a while ago. So thanks for saying that. And Ali, you're one of those people too. I mean, you are, because I mean, you guys should see the pictures that he has sent to us, and not just a picture. We're talking about a huge framed art of, and he's done that a couple times, and stuff that hang on the wall and stuff that could be sold easily. So your kindness is unbelievable, and thank you for saying that and all that. All right, Sergeant Sue, you're in Fort Worth. You better follow that up pretty good.
Well, I'm gonna be honest, man. I usually pause the show so it doesn't cause a disruption. So I missed that call, but man, just hearing the way you reacted to it, and then knowing that it was Ali. I mean, I have my own personal experience with Ali. I got to meet him, and I'm not going to say exactly what it is. I don't think that he's the type that would want me to just go into detail about what it was, but he did something. He offered to do something extremely, extremely nice for me.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I had ever met him, and he was, and, you know, he didn't even take a second to think about it. He was just like, hey, I want to do this for you. Respectfully, I had to decline, but it's just the fact that he was willing to do that, man, just really shows his character. It's not all in the, like you said, 2 to 3 minute phone calls that he gives. I mean, he did it in real life, you know what I mean? So he's a great person, and I was happy to have met him.
Yeah, that's awesome.
On that, so my bad, I'm going to speak about another caller. You mentioned earlier, Nico, and I wanted to call in, man, just to let you know and let everybody else know that Irene and I speak to him pretty much every single day. Like, we have our own little text thread, and he shares things and stuff, and we talk all the time. And he asked me to reach out and to say that yeah, he's been listening. He's been super busy during the holidays. He says there's a lot of trash. He doesn't have a thrower with him, so he's doing everything by himself. He ran into some snow days and stuff, so he's been really busy, but he said he's going to try to get in next week. So
great.
And
yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Oh, yeah, no problem, man. He's doing great. I mean, if I'm being honest, man, he's pretty animated after a loss. It's pretty intense, but I enjoy it, man. He's a cool dude. And then the last thing, I was going to go into some other things, but I don't want to take up too much time. I'm just going to kind of shed light, like I always try to do. I don't have, Nick, I've told you this before, I'm not a big basketball guy or baseball guy, or I'm not a guy who's like, oh, I'll just watch hockey. All I have is NFL, man, like, genuinely. So, I mean, as far as sports goes.
Right.
And, man, I know that the season's coming to an end, guys, and I know that it maybe, didn't pan out the way some of us thought it would. Maybe it panned out exactly how you thought it would. But regardless, we got 3 more games, man. And, just enjoy them. If you can enjoy them with family, enjoy them with family. If you watch them alone or you go to a bar or however you do it, enjoy it, man, because that culture is about to take a pause, you know what I mean? So just from Sergeant Sue, man, you guys just enjoy it. If I don't get to talk to you guys before the end of before the holidays, everybody enjoy your holidays. And I'm not going to give a prediction because I said I'd never pick against the Cowboys on on air. So I'm not going to give a prediction. But Nick, Chris, thank you guys so much, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right. At ease, Sergeant Sue. I don't think he said that. He usually does. I love this. Man, I love – that's what I love about this show is just – I thought that we would be able to come out here and I thought people would want to kind of hear themselves talk and have an opinion and be on the air and maybe kind of, is it just me or does other people feel this way and all that? And I thought I could sit up here and tell some stories and, and it would be a good show. And that's kind of what I thought would happen. And it has for the most part. Now, what I didn't ever think would happen would be a guy in Fort Worth calling a guy in Colorado or a really nice lady in Virginia calling and checking up on everyone and getting to know them and their families and all this stuff. Or my mom, like you driving to go see somebody in the hospital and give them food. No, I didn't expect that. And that's what's made this show so great. And Chris in the back had kind of taught me that a little bit, like, because there was a time I would be more worried about where our numbers look like and where we are compared to other podcasts. And we're not like other podcasts. It's not going to be like that. We're a little bit different. And for that reason, I don't care anymore. I really don't. And I care. I want y'all to call. I don't like that Tuesday a couple weeks ago where it was like, I had to end the show because there was no calls. I want y'all to call. But at the same time, like, this is a family that's been created, and it's pretty awesome. So, and you guys today are a big part of it. All right, Rick in Webster, Massachusetts. Rick, what's up, man?
How you doing, Nick? How are you?
Good. How are you, bud?
I'm good. I'm out to Sergeant Sue and a few others. I was waiting until the whole season. We got three games to go. We win all 3 great. We don't. Oh well. It's better sure. But just enjoy the football games and going like that. Try to get to the championship games in some of my semifinals. But and for the Cowboys, I'm going to say Cowboys 30, Chargers 28.
All right. Thanks, Rick.
Okay.
That's good. It's I think it might be a high-scoring game. The Chargers, though, their defense has played really well. You know what's interesting? The Chargers and the Cowboys have the same schedule coming out of the bye. The Cowboys had a bye, and then they played at the Raiders, Eagles at home, and then Chiefs at home. And I guess the Chargers, they had the same 3 teams. They had a bye. Then they went at the Raiders, Eagles at home. They went at the Chiefs. But, they've had the same, those 3 games that the Cowboys had coming off the bye, same thing that the Chargers had. Now, they didn't play at the Lions or Minnesota or anything like that. But, their success here lately is the same thing that the Cowboys had. So I'm not diminishing it. I'm just saying I thought that was kind of weird that everyone's kind of feeling good about the Chargers again, coming off the bye and what they've done, and all their defense looks a lot better. It's the same thing the Cowboys had coming off their bye. Now, Chargers didn't have the same tragedy to deal with and all that kind of stuff. But I thought that was interesting looking at their games here that they've had the last 3. Let's go to Isaac in Amarillo.
Hey there, Mr. Nick, second-time caller.
All right.
Yes, sir. Hey, so it looks like this season is probably going to be shaping up to us finishing around 500. It just took me back to all those years, whether it was 11, 12, or 13, when we finished 100% average at, 8-8.
Yeah.
But my favorite memory of those years was, I think, 2013 when we went and played, they were then the Washington Redskins, and Tony got his back hurt, but won the game with that pass to DeMarco Murray. I just wanted to ask her, what was your favorite memory from all those 8-8 years? And
hold on.
I'll hang up and listen.
Okay, thanks, Isaac. Thanks. That's funny that you say that because, sorry, I actually told a story about that game yesterday to Kurt Daniels, who's on Hanging with the Boys. We were talking about Cowboys and Washington games at Washington. He's working on the trivia questions we do every Thursday. And I was telling him a story about how we had a young writer at the time. He was like just out of college. He might have been his second year with his name, Rowan Kavner. And Rowan has gone on to do a lot of things in baseball coverage, Dodgers, all that stuff. He's done a great job. But Rowan, I remember at training camp, just out of the blue, was like, hey, we play Washington like right Christmas Eve or whatever. Later in the year, if DeMarco Murray has a big game or scores a touchdown, do you think we can put at the headline "Murray Christmas"? And I'm like, oh, yeah. I mean, it's nice and witty. I mean, it is August the 4th, and we're in Oxnard. Let's worry about your story right now. How about we get that story out, and let's worry about Christmas when it is. Didn't ever talk about it again. Never really came up. Sure enough, here comes the Cowboy driving down. It's 4th down on the 10-yard line. Romo's limping around, can't even throws that touchdown 4th down to DeMarco Murray. We have a great photo of him crossing the goal line. Put it on the website. Murray Christmas. I was like, you got it, man. You were all over this thing back in August. You nailed it. You got it. I remember us doing that. It was a good win. Now the next week they lost, but to answer your questions, those years they kind of run together a little bit just because they were the same. They were 8-8 every time. I mean, there were some different games in there, but I've always thought that was weird that 3 years in a row the Cowboys went into the last game of the season to go and win. If you win, you're in the playoffs. If you lose, you're out, and that team wins the division. 3 years in a row. The first year at the Giants, they lost, and the Giants win the Super Bowl. The next year, 2012, was Washington. They lost. And then the next year, 2013, I believe, was Philadelphia. And they didn't have – Romo did not play the next week, and Orton played. So I always thought that was weird. Three years in a row, 3 different teams doing that, whatever. All right. Let's go Jeremy, D.C., man. Jeremy, what's up?
Hey, yo, Nick, what's up, man?
How you doing?
You staying out of trouble today?
Yes.
All right, man. You ain't hurt nobody, did you?
No.
All right, it's
not
still
yet.
early, man. I'm not gonna count you out. Just don't draw no blood, all right?
Nah, I'm not. I'm not very tough, Jeremy. I'm not. I've never been in a fight. You know what I mean? Which surprises a lot of people, but they're surprised that my mouth is not getting me into a fight. But then again, I managed to stay out of that. Chris and I might fight one day. I don't know. That's what a lot of people. That's what people are talking about, But no, we're good. Right, Chris?
How you been, man? I'm just calling, man.
Don't hurt nobody today.
Wish everybody their Christmas wishes. You know what I'm saying? I've been listening to all the shows, and man, I was listening to Girls Talk, Boys Talk, and I believe it was Aisha. She brought up something that I've been worried about, kind of like towards the end of the year, but she had brought up something. When this season is over, we only going to have like one defensive end. So I feel like we should have, like, that's going to be an urgent need. You know what I'm saying, Nick? Because we already don't have any type of pass rush. So once this season is over, this campaign is over.
Tell me when the bad news comes in, all right? Like, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, though. I mean, oh, no, we got to keep these guys. I mean, nobody can rush the passer. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just like, you haven't had any pass rush. Like, that's
I'm
the
just saying that because everybody's saying cornerback is a need, safety is a need, but
yeah, I'm with
it's looking like the only defensive end we're going to have next year is Donovan Ezaraku, the Desert Eagle, man.
Okay. I mean, seriously, like, I don't have my roster. Let's break it down. You want to bring back Fowler? I mean,
nah, not really.
Not really? Clowney?
Not really.
I mean,
I'll bring back Clowney on like some rotation.
If Clowney wants to come back and he wants that, that's the thing. He's kind of done this a while where I think he likes this schedule better than the team would. They would probably prefer him to be here all off season and all that. I don't know. I don't know if that's what he would want to do, but I think I'd be open to that. Houston, okay.
Yeah, Houston, he could be a rotational guy too.
Yeah.
But I was just like, man, that's where we're going to have to either attack that in like free. I think we should attack like the linebacker in free agency, just so we can have another little veteran or something like that, but a better guy.
Yeah.
That's better than the Murrays. And like, I don't really have a problem with Logan, other than sometimes he seems like he's a step behind sometimes.
Yeah.
But other than that, Logan seems like he's pretty locked in, man.
Yeah.
And then my last thing was, I hear everybody saying that Eberflus keeps calling these zone coverages and we got man press corners. But I heard Barry Church say one time, it don't matter if you're in zone or man coverage. If you feel comfortable in that coverage, you can come up and press if you're in man or zone. So I'm just like, if it's third and short or whatever, Eberflus call a zone coverage, I still feel like those corners should come up and press, even though it's a zone coverage. Because I just think he's just telling them to sit on the short route. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they'll give them 15 yards off, and then they just catch the short route.
Yeah, and that comes down to how much speed that they have or don't have, and how much how afraid they are of them getting behind them. Because if you had that makeup speed, then you would be okay getting up there and jamming, and then if you miss or they get by you, you still have a chance to kind of catch up. And I don't know if these guys have that. So. Jeremy, you kind of identified a defensive end problem, a cornerback problem, and a linebacker problem, which you add those up, and I think that's why your defense is not very good this year, or really bad this year. So, all right. Yeah. Thanks, Jeremy.
All right, Nick.
Thanks for the call.
No problem, man. I'll holler at you next week, buddy. Enjoy your weekend, man.
Appreciate that.
Don't hurt nobody on the weekend.
Hey, Chris, that's funny about that? You know what I love about that call? And I'll say this to Chris, too, because he's the one that listens to – I mean, Chris listens to every podcast. He's the only person in the world that listens to every podcast. But, Jeremy, what you said just now, you were like, hey, you were listening to Girls Talk, Boys Talk, which is at 8 a.m. Central Time. It's our first podcast in the morning. And then obviously you've called here. I would say you've probably called this show this year 12, 15 times or so. And you're right there. You're right there on that all storyline team. Probably gonna make it there, I would think. And then also talking about what Barry Church says, and whether that's on the pregame show or that's on his podcast that he's on with Players Lounge, which I believe is at 2 p.m. Central Time. So, and I'm not saying you listen to them all live. I know you do this one, but that's what this thing's all about, and we appreciate you because you're listening to a lot of shows, a lot of voices. You brought up something Aisha said or something Barry Church said, and I know you're talking about the stuff on our show and all that. So we really appreciate that. And I'm not saying everyone has to do that. I don't know how you guys do that. I don't know how. I mean, I don't even know how Chris does it. That's his job, but still, I think that's really awesome, guys. We're gonna go to break one more time on Cowboy Storyline. I'll be right back after this.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for you. Gillette's Best Shave has a new look this season, and they've got one that sticked out in Cowboys colors just for us. We're going to want to run, not walk to this one, y'all. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor isn't just Gillette's best shave. With 50% longer lasting blades than Fusion, it's the best a Cowboys fan can get. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's Best Shave is also available as heated.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, back here on Cowboy Storyline presented by Gillette. Got a few more minutes here. That's probably how much my voice has as well. Sorry. I did not start smoking this week. It's just going through what everyone seems to have. All right, Ronnie in New Jersey is next.
Hey, Nick, that's actually what I was about to ask you. I'm like, man, it sounds like you're a little bit under the weather there.
Yeah.
I was listening to you over the, online, and I was like, man, he sounds a little bit like he's got a cold or something.
Yeah.
But,
I'm hanging in there. I'll be all right. I'll be all right.
Yeah, I hope you feel better,
I'm
especially
good.
now because a lot of people get sick during Christmas season, and that sucks, you know?
Yeah. No, that's
But,
good.
yeah, I was listening, and what you just mentioned, Nick, you just described, I think, almost all the fans, because I listen to all the shows, but, you know, of course, you know, during work, I can't be listening to all the shows and stuff like that right now. Every once in a while I get away so I could call you on my little break. But yeah, you described basically almost all the fans, because I listen to as many shows as I can, because I like listening to different opinions. You know,
Yeah.
aside from myself, I like listening to different opinions.
We got them. We got them for you, man.
Yeah,
We got the opinions.
you definitely got them. Listen, there are times that I'm listening to even Jesse. I love Jesse. He's from Jersey and everything, but damn, Jesse doesn't let nobody else talk in that show, hanging with the boys. But
well,
don't say that to him, because I know he'll get offended. But Jesse does not let Nate talk. Let Nate say a few words every once in a while.
Did Nate play football though? I mean, seriously.
I know, right?
You know, Jesse did play. I don't know if Nate ever played. I think he did.
I love Nate's opinions, because Nate, you know, who knows the game better than Nate, especially in the trenches.
You know who's probably the most informative person on that whole show is Kurt Daniels. I'm serious, because
I love listening
Kurt
to
knows
Kurt
his
too.
stuff. He knows his history. And then, of course, my guy Shannon. I mean, like, that show has got all kinds of different
That
stuff
show's
going
funny.
on. It really is. It's a good show. Is there any
That's why
other
I love
shows?
listening to it.
Any other shows we want to plug here? I mean, like, I feel like we've talked about all of them.
You know what's funny about Kurt? That he's very quiet, but when he speaks,
oh, trust me, okay? I've had the good fortune of I've written 4 books, okay? I've written 4 books, and they've been published. Kurt is the editor for these books. I don't know if you guys knew this. He has been my editor. I paid him some for that, and he's done it.
know that.
And he, trust me, he will drop a bomb if you want to. Like he'll just, and he does it subtly in his own Kurt way. Kurt's getting a lot of love on this show. Kurt is getting talked about on this show more than he talks himself on the other shows. All right.
So quiet. But yeah, now let me just say about that Eberflus thing going up. If you're going to wait to the last 3 games of the season to do that, to try to save your job, it's like you said, too little, too late. I'm sorry. What's he going to change now? Come on. And another thing I wanted to ask you, Nick, before we get off, I I would sit Dak. I'm sorry. I know Dak. Dak is our future, man. Dak, you have a 2 to 3 year window right now where you have him under contract. You need to see what you have in your backup quarterback. Why not play him the last few snaps, the last 2 games, and give him snaps, and let's see what he's got for next training camp? Because you need a backup. This year Dak was good. You never know. He might be out a game or 2, God forbid, next year, and you don't know what you have in your backup. So I wouldn't risk Dak. And
okay,
real quick, this was the game that I thought we were going to lose out of the last 4. And as bad as this, I don't like this quarterback from the. We made this guy look good last week, so I see him scoring 34-17 Chargers. This was the only game I thought we were going to lose for the last 4, but 34-17 Chargers. Thanks for taking my call, Nick. Feel better, man.
All right, I'm good. Thanks, man. If Dak doesn't play some of these games, and I know you're not the only person, Ronnie, that has said that. I believe Rob in Vegas thinks that way. I know he thinks that way. If they're officially eliminated, but and that's going to have to come from the Cowboys. I mean, which they all decisions should. I mean, if they ask Dak, I mean, Dak's playing. I mean, he made that pretty clear. He looks at it like he's the obligation to go out there and play. Not everybody can do that. And remember now, this is a guy that, he was in a negotiation for a year and a half on a contract. He's looking at a $60 million a year contract. CD was also looking for a contract. And Zach Martin was looking for a contract the year before. And where were they at training camp? They were not there. Micah Parsons was looking for a contract. He wasn't practicing. Dak was looking for a contract 2 years ago. He was at every snap. And he understands his position's different. Now, you can argue that and say, well, that being said, then you better make sure you're out there for next year and don't get hurt in a meaningless game. So it all makes sense. I understand both sides of it. We'll see if they maybe kind of, meet in the middle somewhere. Maybe he does start these games. And but be careful, though. If you start the game and you don't win, then it goes on your record, too. So be careful with that one. Let's go to JR in Avondale, Arizona.
Morning, Nick. How are you doing today?
Good, man. What's up?
Oh, same old. I know I got cut off yesterday during my rant about the defense, but I don't believe Eberflus's move up to the box is necessarily his decision. I think that they want to see what my question to you is Aaron Whitecotton. I don't know a lot about him, but is he a guy that they see something in and they want to see how he makes adjustments and stuff? And is he somebody that could possibly be a D coordinator? I'll listen to what you say off the air. With that, my prediction is it's going to be 31-30. Cowboys are going to win because I always pick the Cowboys. Brandon Aubrey comes out of his slump and hits a long field goal to win the game. And if I don't get a chance to call in, Merry Christmas to you and your family, and I appreciate everything that you guys do and love being part of the community.
Thank you.
So that's it. Go Cowboys.
Thank you. I'm just going to say this, like Brandon Aubrey, it's funny how he's in a slump, and that's what JR's word. Not the only person that says that, because he's missed a couple of 50-yard kicks. Can you imagine Steph Curry? Like if all he shot was just half-court shots, it's like, what's wrong with this guy? He hasn't made a half-court shot in a couple games. That's kind of what this thing has turned into. And miss an extra point, get a 42-yarder or hit that off the crossbar or something like that, or the upright, and then we'll be like, all right, what's wrong with this guy? I do know this, though. The one place he has not kicked well, if there's any place, it's Washington. And most kickers really haven't, and that's a tough place to kick. So we'll see what happens there. But you talked about Whitecotton. Now, I don't know what this move is. I don't think that they're – I don't think – and we'll see what Rashadi says later today. I don't think he's calling this demotion or anything like that. But are they going to be looking at Whitecotton in maybe at the end of the season or whatever? Maybe this is the first part of it. Sure. How does he handle players and all that? I mean, Look at Quinnen Williams. I mean, Quinnen Williams has played his best football of his career when he had White Cotton. His first year wasn't that great. White Cotton wasn't his coach. Next few years with White Cotton there, he was all pro. And then last year, or this year wasn't going so well without him until he comes here, and he's actually pretty good. So that's one example. I don't know about the whole defense, but he would be a guy you'd look at. All right, we have time for one more caller. Dylan in Northport, Florida. Dylan, what is up?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good. How are you doing? Let's wrap up this week, wrap up this show in style. How you doing?
I'm not the guy for that, but all right, let's roll. I called in. I was a little cranky yesterday, and a little hangry. I hadn't had lunch yet, but I talked to Rob, man, and everything's all good. So me and Rob, we're all good,
Little captain clash there.
Yeah, it's all love, though. We're like a big Italian family, Rob calls it. Like, we yell at each other, we get on each other's nerves, but, we all love each other. It's all good.
I love what Rob says. He's got a great line. He's told me this before. He tells it to his kids. I'm not yelling at you. I'm just yelling.
Fair. I said that to my wife the other day. I dropped that one. She's like, I'm not yelling at you. I heard everybody. I hadn't been able to listen to the whole show, but I did hear Kurt and some others getting some love from the other shows. And I just didn't want to leave out my guy, Tommy, man. We went out and hung out in Oxnard, and Tommy came a couple nights. And you never know by listening to him on the shows. He's just kind of quiet and serious, right, and very professional, very knowledgeable, great. But when he gets out there, he gets a couple drinks, man. He'll be sitting there quietly, and he'll just drop a bomb. And it's the most hysterical thing, dude. Yeah. Tommy became one of my favorite guys out in Oxnard, I tell you.
Well, Tommy and Chris will know this, too. Like, Tommy and I, we play Fortnite together. And Tommy he's the nicest kid ever. And then, but yeah, some bot that's jumping around on the screen, and you should see the words or that come out of his mouth. So yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, cool, man. Well, listen, I don't know if I'm gonna get to call in next week or not, but Merry Christmas to y'all, and I'll catch y'all later.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks for the call. That's gonna wrap up our show and wrap up our week here. Good stuff, guys. I understand the frustration. We all know it. It's tough. This is a tough year to go through. Cowboys still hanging on barely. That might even change before kickoff, but the approach won't change. The Cowboys are going to keep fighting, at least for this game, and then we'll see after that what they do as far as personnel and all that. But the guys out there are going to compete, and the coaches are going to keep fighting. They have to, and they're fighting for the jobs and their future as well. So appreciate this stuff. Good stuff, and a lot of the things you guys talked about each other, the community within the community here is off the charts and just so awesome, and especially this time of year. This is where people need that the most. So, all right, I'll say this: we got 2 shows next week, just for scheduling purposes. We're gonna go on Monday and Tuesday of next week, and then that'll be the end of the shows for that week, and then of course after that. Maybe a few different changes in that schedule as well. So we're getting down to the end here as far as shows go, not only just the season, but we probably have, I don't know, maybe 6 more shows, maybe 5 to 6 more shows before the end of the regular season. So let's make them count. All right, for Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. We'll see you next time on Cowboy Storyline.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!